Hey y'all, welcome to Miss Clark's chemistry class. We have learned all about molecular compounds, naming, writing molecular compounds, naming, writing acids. Let's put it all together in some practice problems. I know that's what we're needing. Most of the time it's very easy. If you're writing molecular, it's easy to do molecular. If you're doing acids, it's easy to do acids. It's when we put it together that's a problem. So let's practice. Go get something to write with, get your periodic table, let's get started. So our first example, we have H2SO3. We know this is an acid because it begins with H. We also know that it's an oxyacid because it has an oxygen that's part of a polyatomic ion. So our next step is to identify that polyatomic ion. SO3 is sulfite. It ends in ite. Remember, mighty mouse. We need OUS. So this acid is called sulfurous acid. We take the sulfite, change it to us. Let's come across and look at this compound, CO2. We need to notice that C is a nonmetal, O is a nonmetal. This is a binary compound that is not an acid. We will need to use our prefixes. So remember, 1 is mono, but we never begin words with mono. And 2 is di. So this is carbon dioxide. I'm hoping this is familiar. We breathe out carbon dioxide. In oxygen, out carbon dioxide. Let's look at this example here. Starts with an H. This is an acid. Only 2 elements, and this element is from the periodic table. This is a binary acid. So we're going to use that prefix hydro and the suffix ic and use bromine as the root word. This is hydrobromic acid. Let's look at this example. We've got 2 N's and 1 O. Both nonmetals, molecular compound. We're going to use prefixes. Remember, the prefix for 2 is di. The prefix for 1 is mono. And since we only have 1 oxygen, and that's the second name, we can go ahead and use mono in the middle of the name. So we have dinitrogen monoxide. N2O, dinitrogen monoxide. Let's look at this example. Again, starts with an H. It's an acid. Also has an oxygen, part of a polyatomic ion, an oxyacid. We need to figure out what the name of this polyatomic ion is. CO3, carbonate. It ends in ate, so we need to end it in ic. So this is going to be carbonic acid. We change that ate to ic, carbonic acid. Let's go ahead and go across and look at this one. We've got 1 oxygen and 4 fluorine. Both are nonmetals, molecular compound. We need to use prefixes. Where 1 is mono and 4 is tetra. We don't begin names with mono, so this is just going to be oxygen tetrafluoride. Oxygen tetrafluoride. Let's look at this example. Again, starts with an H, it's an acid. Only 2 elements, and that element's from the periodic table. This is a binary acid. We need that prefix hydro, we need that suffix ic. The root word is sulfur, so we've got hydrosulfuric acid. Let's look at our last naming example. 3 carbons, 8 hydrogens. Carbon's a nonmetal, hydrogen's a nonmetal. We need to use prefixes. Where 3 is tri and 8 is octa. So we have tricarbon octahydride. Tricarbon octahydride. Let's practice writing some formulas. First we have triphosphorus hexoxide. Now we see prefixes. Tri, hex. So we're just going to use them. If you have prefixes, let them tell you what to do. So we have 3 phosphorus and 6 oxygen. Let's look at this example. Acetic acid. It tells us it's an acid, and all acids begin with a H+. Now acetic, that ic tells us that originally this was an 8. Acetate, that's what we're looking for. C2H3O2 minus 1. plus 1 minus 1, those cancel out. So we end up with just HC2H3O2, acetic acid. Let's look at nitrogen dioxide. Again, there's that prefix di. Nitrogen didn't have a prefix. So remember, no prefix, that means a 1. So we've got 1 nitrogen, 2 oxygen. Hydrochloric acid, prefix hydro, suffix ic. That's a binary acid. That means just hydrogen and one other element, and that element's from the periodic table. Chlor, that's chlorine. Again, hydrogen's always a plus 1. Chlorine, that's from group 17. It's also a 1, but a minus 1. 1 and 1, that cancels out. HCl, hydrochloric acid. Let's look at 2 more examples. Disulfur pentachloride. We've got those prefixes. Let's use them. Di means 2. Penta means 5. 2 sulfurs, S2. Pentachloride, Cl5. Last example, phosphoric acid. We got that suffix ic, and that's it. That tells us it's an oxyacid, and it came from the polyatomic ion with 8. Phosphate, PO4 minus 3. Remember, acids start with H plus 1. Phosphate, PO4 minus 3. We've got to cross that down, just like an ionic compound. H3, PO4, phosphoric acid. See? It just took a little bit of practice. We're good to go now. Go ahead and practice some more. I have some practice problems and an answer key in the link below. Go check that out. Share this with your friend if you thought this was helpful. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, bye y'all.